Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week where Rangers just continue to struggle in every game we play. Barry Ferguson's not really made too much of a difference so far, but I think the players really need to be looked at now. I think they've got manager after manager sacked, a lot of them that have been here. Obviously, come on, we spoke about last week he got sacked, but we're all happy about it. It was then up to the players to show a reaction, show that they want to play for the club, show that it wasn't the manager that was holding them back. But the same thing just keeps on happening. That's the third game in a row now that we've been 2-0 down at one point. Um, and it's not as if we're playing like your Celtics, we're playing in European games. We're playing teams that we should be beating. We should be beating Motherwell. We should be comfortably. Obviously, in the end, we did comfortably beat Kilmarnock, but the start to the game was horrendous, and we should be comfortably beating St Mirren at home as well. There's no excuse for any of this anymore, and I think it's a big time where we need to look at the players. We need to actually see who deserves to be here anymore, which is not a lot of them. Um, and
Well,
it's a depressing situation to be in. But if you do enjoy the podcast, if you'd like, subscribe and share. That would be very much appreciated. Firstly, we'll go on to Barry Ferguson. A bit of positive news, obviously, last week, just after we finished the podcast. Well, all right, it might be Barry, it might be that, and then Rangers tweet it's Barry Ferguson. So, bit of poor timing on that one for us. But he's now in the job. He's had 2 games under his belt. There was obviously a bit of optimism going into the Kilmarnock game that we could get a reaction. We could get a Rangers team in the pitch that actually wanted to die for the badge. And I think we saw in spells after the horrendous start to the game, as I said, 2-0 down, terrible goals to lose. We then found a bit of resilience that we haven't had all year, really. We came back into the game, Ficherni, Dessers with a couple, then Bajrami. In the end, rounding up with a 4-2 victory. Comfortable in the end, but it showed me something that the sidelines and people in the touchline that are actually get a bit of passion about them, a bit of something about them, could feed into the players. And I'm like, right, we could be on to just sailing out the season with somebody that knows what he's doing, and the players can obviously react to that. But it was a whole different story when it came to this Motherwell game. Just, I mean, I'm actually lost for words at how bad we are. Like, I honestly, I just don't even have words for it anymore. It's like every single game we played away from home at the start of the season, we were conceding poor goals, we were getting beat, we were drawing games, but the home form was fine. Now we can't even play at Ibrox. Like, there's too much pressure on these players to play it at home in front of their own fans. This is a team with no pressure to win the league, with nothing on them, and they still can't handle playing at Ibrox. Like,
it
what is
just
this?
it just shows you that the jersey's too big for them. They can't handle the pressure. They can't. You heard the manager talk about it, obviously. You heard Ferguson talk about it. You just have to get on with it, and you have to accept that when you play for Rangers, you're going to get criticised regardless. Obviously, as I say, I think they're a bunch of wage faced, a lot of them really. And obviously the Kilmarnock game as well. You thought after that game, right? Hopefully we can kick on here and just, as you say, see the season out with a bit of pride. Um, but then obviously these players decided, nah, just gonna not do that at all, really. As I say, the keeper for me, shocking.
No,
That's
it's
that
just he's
that goal, the
terrible.
first goal he concedes. That's amateur, that man. I expect
No.
to see that like Sunday league. You know what I mean? And just for me, I think it's time we let him go. We should have let him go really when he was playing well. And I mean the defence, dearie me.
I mean, like as you say, the start to the game was just a disaster again. When have we ever started a game well? Like we could go through this full season. We have not started a game well,
No.
like ever. We are all constantly on the back foot. We're constantly trying to find some way getting forward. We can't create anything, and it usually leads in the team that we're playing against going 1-0 up early doors, which has now happened. Um, of course, in the last two. As you mentioned there, the first goal that we lose is terrible, like genuinely terrible. It's stuff you would see on a pitch with bloody 10-year-olds playing a game of football that would know how to defend better than that. Terrible for Dessers, terrible for Butland, just terrible all around. And if you actually look at the team that started the game. Of course, we ended the game in the Wednesday with Tavernier at centre half, and he looked more assured. He looked better there.
Mm.
But when you actually look at it, we're playing a right back at centre back. We're playing a left back at right back when we have a right
Impact.
back playing. Like it just is a bit. It's a bit stupid, and
Well, I look at
I
the
have to look at Barry Ferguson as well because what is he actually implemented here? It's the same formation, it's the same players playing, the same mistakes are getting made that Clement made. Every manager comes in and talks the talk. They constantly say, "All right, we're going to see a Rangers team who goes forward with pace. We're going to create chances. We're going to just keep on like 24. Like, we're just going to keep going attacking." And I've yet to see that for like the last three managers. I know Barry Ferguson's been here less than a week. I get that. It's probably
mm.
going to take time for him to actually get across his message, but again, it just seemed like he was reverting back to what Clement had used and failed with.
Well, I suppose I just think of the young boy we brought in January. You know what I mean? Like, what are we
Can it be
doing
any
there?
worse than proper?
I mean, did we just bring him in to just sit and watch the games for, you know what I mean, to get paid to watch the games? If you want to start doing that with the fans, that'd be great, refunding them. No, that is a good thing, mate, but as I say, I don't know, when it comes to like, Ferguson, I'm not expecting anything brilliant. I think he's just, as I say, he's just been brought in to just see out the season. I'm not expecting tactical genius for Barry Ferguson, really. And
Of
I don't,
course.
I'm pretty sure like when a European game when we done that with Yilmaz and Yefty, it was all right. You know what I mean? Taff played all right. I feel like it's centre half one or two times when he said to do it, but as I say, it's just the defence the whole season. It's been an
Hmm.
absolute mess. And then as I say, the middle of the park, Raskin and Diomande, one of them's got to go. Let's be honest, for it to really work here for me, one of them's got to go. One of them's got to be sold. And then as I say, I just don't think with the players, mate, that really care to play for us.
No, I think that's one of the biggest things here. That the big thing when any management team changes, anybody comes into the club, leaves the club, the Rangers fans will always say, "Let's get some Rangers men in," and knows what it means. We've now got Rangers men there, and albeit they've not had that much time with the players, but they can at least get the message across that you're playing in front of a full Ibrox still. Like you've still got a full Ibrox there when there is like nothing to play for anymore. Like these fans could easily
But
go away and do something else, and you need to play
even,
for like you need to actually perform.
there's only so much they can. That's the thing, but
There's only
there's only
so
so
much
much
they can do, of
they can
course.
say, and they can do and say. It's on these players individually at the end of the day. Getting that obviously that message through. I'm pretty sure if Barry Ferguson and Alan McGregor could sub themselves on, they would do it, and they probably show more passion and all that. We already know that. It's on these players at the end of the day. As I say, they're just happy to coast by. They
Yeah.
don't understand. I don't think any of them understand what it really means to play for this club. I mean, you look at Tavernier, really, that's all it really needs to be said. Obviously, it was his 500 beer sign or whatever, you know what I mean? And it
Just
just
sums it up, doesn't
sums up, you know what I mean? A serial loser, an
it?
absolute
Aye.
serial loser. I'll honestly, as I say, I'll argue it all day long. You can't, he's been a great servant and stuff like that for the club, absolutely, but you can't tell me he's a Rangers like, Hall of Famer, legend, whatever have you.
No,
There's,
he's not done
you just
enough.
can't.
He's just
Uh,
when you think of like captains gone by, you think of like a Barry Ferguson, for example. You think of these guys that when they were playing poor, they would still drag the team through a game. They would still like egg them on to victory, and they would coach the game well for obviously playing inside it as the captain. I just don't see that for Tavernier. I don't see any quality leadership for him whatsoever. And this will be a debate that we are still having when we're at 70 talking about is Tavernier, oh, what does he deserve this or that? It's just going to be one of those things. It's like nobody will always
Aye,
agree on it, right?
always
Of course, as
it's
you
always a
say,
pub convo.
aye. Of course, as you say, a fantastic servant for the club. 500 games, not many reach that at Rangers, so
No,
I can't take that away from him.
no, you
But
can't take that
in
away.
terms of like the leadership and the trophies, that's where he'll get judged on, and it's not been good enough, of course. And I
Just
just think with obviously him seeing out the game at Kilmarnock at centre half, he looked fine. He shouldn't be starting the game at centre half when we've got Clinton Enciala, we've got Rafael Fernandez, we've got Balogun now back for injury, we've got Suter coming back. That shouldn't be happening, no matter who's the manager. So I think it's a really
but you
poor
know what it is
decision
as
for
well, but
Ferguson.
you know what it is as well, but you know exactly what Ferguson's thinking. Like, surely we're beating Motherwell here. We've got enough
Aye,
here. You know what he's thinking, right? We've got enough here. You shouldn't have to be motivated and play in front of the fans. Like, we'll just see this game out. It's just underestimating Motherwell in it really there, and obviously they've got a new coach, what have you.
Well, that's
So
probably the biggest thing. They did underestimate Motherwell because they had no idea what Motherwell were going to do. I've I've seen the highlights for Michael Vimmer's first couple of games before this game. They want to press. That's what they want to do. They want to get in our faces. They want to press. Every single mistake that Rangers made was because they pressed us.
yes,
You look at the second goal. They presses. Tavernier shits himself. He passes it straight to the Motherwell guy. Yefty's already up the other end of the pitch, out of position like he usually has been recently. And it's a 1-on-1 for Sparrow, and he scores, and it's 2-0. Motherwell didn't really have to do too much to win this game, which is the alarming thing for me. They had their chances that they had. I think they had six shots in total the full game, and they converted them. They defended well. They had a structure. They had players that are buying into their new manager's way of playing, and they were fully deserving of the victory on the day. We were terrible again, and I think if you go through the rest of the team, like Robin Proper, just he's garbage. He's like one of the worst centre halves I've seen play for Rangers. We've given him time. He said good games. He said bad games, but he said too many bad games like that. But he just cannot handle. He cannot handle the
pressure.
physicality of some of the strikers up here, and I think we need to be looking at Yefty now as well. He's an exciting talent, but he's out of position and causes so many goals for that left hand side a lot of the time. I think he's scared of going forward as well. Like I don't know what it is. He seems to bomb forward and he just turns back. And I'm like, mate, you've got the pace to just go. We've seen it this season. He's went on like mazy runs and he's got us up the other end of the pitch. And when you've got somebody like Yanis Hadji ahead of you who's got no pace, we've got like one winger in the full squad. We need
Ah,
to utilise him going forward. And um, but as a whole, the back line terrible, and it's been a kind of similar story. Cherny, of course, he tries, but he didn't have any quality, and we can't keep relying on one guy to create everything. And that's the big thing I see with Cherny now in these games, where he's just getting the ball and he's desperate to try and make something happen because he feels like he's the guy that has to do it. Yeah, Haji's been poor for
poor,
weeks now,
really poor,
really
really poor.
terrible. Like taking shots on when he's like you've got better options out there. I mean, he's been terrible, and the fact that we again keep going back to January, we could have got a winger in, and this could have maybe solved all these issues we what we're
Mm.
having to do because you've got Haji playing out wide when 3 year ago he wasn't good enough out wide. Like,
It's just going round the same circles, isn't it? I'd have to hang me as well, Wigan as well. What's going on there?
is another player, a promising player like Yefty, who's just fallen off a cliff.
And that's what I'm on about. That let's not be hyping him that much there. Do you know what I mean? Let's just keep him in reality. He's a great young player, and obviously still got a lot to develop in the game. But I just felt like he was getting hyped up a bit too much. Maybe that's got in his head. But no, I not been good enough for himself. Obviously, and as you say, it's kind of the same story as last season. It really, with obviously like Seymour as well. Like, just always relying on the one player.
Pretty
Um,
much, aye.
just going in the same Ferris wheel with it. You're just going round and round the same problems. As I say, I hope he's. It shouldn't take Barry Ferguson and them lot getting in there and actually like getting you a bit up the arse for you actually care. You know what I mean? That's what I just don't get. Like,
Yep,
you
I
see
know.
the size of
So
the
it's
crowd you see with Everton every week at Ibrox. You know what I mean? How do you not get up for that and go right, boys? Come on, out here, let's go out
and there'll
and
be folk
put a
going over
performance
to
on.
Turkey, risking like whatever
Risking
they've
their
got
lives, mate,
going
just
over
to get
there,
the rest. Ah,
and having to probably go through like major security checks to get in the stadium, get held for hours before and after the game, and like that's the lengths that Rangers fans will go to support their team, and even the state that we're in will still go over there and support their team. So these players don't know how lucky they have it when it comes to a fan base like us. Of course, we're fickle. Of course, we put pressure on players, but we're a big club and we should be winning games that like
the
Motherwell and
demands,
St
but
Mirren.
I said demands. We should be winning these games. As you say, aye, people going over to Turkey, obviously, stay safe there.
Hmm.
That's what I'm saying there. Aye, just watch us sit back for 90 minutes, see it out now.
Nah, again, we'll go on to that when as we go further forward. But that's one of the games that we could really do without at the moment. It's like with the way we're playing. But I guess you've got to look at the midfield as well. I think we just get like ran through in the midfield. I think Raskin and Diomande are good players, but good players that can't really play together domestically. I think we need another answer in the middle of the park. When it comes to domestic games, I think you've seen them in Europe being good together because I think it kind of plays to both of their strengths. But at home when the onus is on us to get forward and create, I don't feel that the two of them are best suited for that. And there was too many gaps in the middle of the park as well at times. So aye, but Dessers scores again. He probably was unlucky to score with the one that he chipped over the goalie as well. Danilo, did he hit it? Did he not? Dessers was onside. It could have stood on another day, but again, you can't fault this guy. That's probably maybe the only player in the whole team at the moment you can't fault because he never really hides. He misses chances like all strikers do, but he's scoring goals and he's getting back is back in games now, which I think he's obviously there to do. So
Scored some great goals last obviously 2 games here. Lovely ball for Yilmaz obviously for the goal. But aye, you can't fault him as I say. We've said that all the time with this. You can't fault him. It's just as you say when he gets the simple chances, he can't finish them. But then some of the other ones are just unbelievable. But aye, mate, just not good enough.
no, on a whole, just terrible. Just a shocking performance again, and Rangers are met with an empty Ibrox at going into extra time at the end of the game. So, aye, terrible performance. But a bit of positive news that's finally been breaking out this morning with the deal close to being completed for the 49ers to take ownership of Rangers. A deal's been agreed in principle according to Sky Sports. So just the paperwork and all of this other stuff that we don't really know the full extent of it to be done. But it's looking like it's heading in the direction where you're hoping by the end of this season into the next season we'll have these guys directing things from the boardroom. It's looking like they're taking a 51% stake, which makes them the majority owners of Rangers at the end of the day. So, aye, positive things. Obviously, we spoke last week as well. The stuff that they've done with Leeds and their Leeds are looking strong to go up now. So this is coming at a good time for us, of course, being under that blanket with the 49ers, getting that cash injection that we've so desperately needed for how long. But also, I think the main thing is that boardroom is getting shaken up to get some actual proper businessmen who have Rangers and the success of Rangers' best interests at heart. Um, so, aye, Parag Marath and his team look to be close to being
Mm.
owners of Rangers, which is, of course, good news.
Ah, it's unbelievable news. Um, just as you say, happy to get a lot of these losers out of that boardroom. That's obviously where the main change really needs to be made. And as I say, they'll take their time. They'll take their time to find the right man to manage the club. I don't think they want to go through a process of what we've been going through recently, where it's hire and fire like it's The Apprentice. Um, so as I say, they'll take their time, and then obviously when it comes to signing players, they will again, as I say, take their time and identify the right players for the league. They won't just go out and don't expect us to go out and let's spend like millions on like a player for like I don't know, the Championship or the Premier. Don't expect that kind of thing, but they will identify. They'll take their time. That's the main thing. Club's in good hands, I want to say. As I say, the way they've ran Leeds for the last couple of years and stuff like that, it's been fantastic. They will obviously sell the best players, as I say, and recruit that money in and then invest in the squad again. You'll go again. But as I say, they'll then generally take their time to find the right man to manage the club because they won't want to go through the same Ferris rounds I say we've been going through for the last couple of years.
Well, that's obviously something that's music to Rangers fans' ears, really, and it
It's
seems like these decisions are taken too rationally at times, the way the club's been run at the moment. So it's going to need the right appointment. I'm assuming the 49ers as well want a kind of high level manager in charge as well. You've
uh,
seen with Leeds they've got Daniel Farke in charge, who is a high level manager within the Championship. He knows exactly the role that he has to do at Leeds to get them back up in the Premiership. The role at Rangers is obviously totally different. It's like, right, we need to win the league, we need to win every game, we need to be competitive in Europe, we need to win all the cups. It's like you need a manager in place that has all those credentials. So it's been October, I think, in this article that said they've been doing this up. So it's got to this point. There's been no breakdown. So you would imagine it's in the kind of right direction. But I would assume they're probably having talks on, or they've got thoughts anyway, on who they would like to be the next manager of the club. So, aye, it's something when
by
all
the
is
way, as
said and
well.
done, I'd be excited by.
By the way, as well, get ready for the celebrity appearances at Ibrox. That's all I'm saying. Get ready to see the athletes and the actors at Ibrox. Timothy Chalamet, maybe at Ibrox. Just saying, young man.
I'll need to look
No,
up the celebrity 49ers fans and see who we could possibly see then. Nah, but it's even looking at that, like just the financial kind of standpoint and where Rangers will then go globally for this is a big
Unbelievable.
thing as well. You've got to look at that in modern day football. It's one of the biggest things that you can have.
Well, that's the thing as well. Like, obviously, a massive fan base and a passionate fan base for Leeds. But then you look at our fan base as well, and we are the same as Leeds all over the world and thingy, but we are just unbelievable. You understand that you get it. Chance obviously with Europe and breaking in there. I can't see Leeds being in Europe anytime soon. Sorry, all the Leeds fans watching there, but I can't. But for us, it's massive. It makes sense in all the right directions for these people to come in and invest and show the others how you actually run a football club.
No, that totally. That's like, is what we've said there. It's the biggest thing that Rangers have needed for a long time. Owners that we can actually get behind and actually care about the decisions they're going to make, and hopefully there's no poor ones being made over the years. Like we have just so much money being burned and just a terrible way to run a football club, just amateur at times. So, these guys coming in is definitely good news for Rangers. And hopefully that progresses and we can get that going for the start of next season because we'll need investment, as we said. There'll need to be obviously on the get go a lot of money invested in the team. Players will leave, and we'll take it for there. But definitely exciting the time at Rangers for that. And then we move on to a difficult game in the Europa League. Of course, we went through top eight. This is us now kicking off that again. Fenerbahce don't lose many games, which is the difficult thing for us. But I think when this draw was made, I kind of felt this might be a step too far for this Rangers team. I think if we maybe got an FC 20 or a Bodo Glimt or something, of course we could have maybe seen them off. But I think
Well,
even with the home leg being the second leg, this will be a tough ask to go over there on Thursday and get in for the game. Fenerbahce have got quality players. They've got a fantastic world-class manager, of course, which is a hard thing to beat. So it'll be interesting to see the approach Rangers take here.
it'll be very interesting. Obviously, you're saying there, you're talking about recruiting a manager that's a winner and everything like that. I'm just saying, go over there, put Jose Mourinho in the rucksack, and let's bring him to Ibrox. That's what I'd be doing. But you predicted the draw, mate. You got it right, and you predicted the next round as well, potentially getting Atletico Bilbao or Roma. So you've predicted that well, but this is it. This is our Europa League stop here. I can't see us beating this lot at all, really. Experienced players in their team, and obviously Jose, experienced coach, and the way we're playing now and what's going on with us really is just an unnecessary distraction, really, I feel like. But you gotta get out there and give everything you've got, I suppose. I mean, sort of probably felt like that the last time, and then look where we ended up, didn't we? So yeah, again, I say just go out there and give everything you've got. But it's going to be a difficult ask to win this game, especially away from home, even at home as well. But difficult
Yeah.
to try and beat Fenerbahce.
Nah, I think so. Like as I've said, they've done well this season. They've been vulnerable at times in Europe, but I just think we don't have enough quality to really cause them too much problems, really. But then you look at the other side of it, these Rangers players cannot turn up for league games, but they always turn up for European games because all the big clubs' agents are
Uh,
watching them and their agents have got the eyes on the game. So it
so
would
what
not
you're telling
surprise me if
me,
we saw it.
so what you're telling me is expect a Yanis Hadji masterclass in Turkey.
I mean, it could be. Apparently, he's rejected that contract offer, and he's looking for a move away. So it could be. Again, it wouldn't surprise me, as we say, that these players have turned up away in Nice and Olympiacos, and they've done all right, obviously out in Man United. So these players have a knack of turning up in Europe, but I just feel that the atmosphere and the magnitude of this game going over there will be too much for these Rangers players to handle. Personally, I think it will be damage limitation. I think we'll have to defend well, of course. We'll have to stay in the game and we'll have to keep Fenerbahce out because maybe it does. They beat us 2-0. We maybe get a goal, a draw, whatever, and it leaves the tie open for the week after. But this is all we've got to play for now. These players have to turn up. We know it's going to be hard. We know us as fans don't really have too much a bit of optimism going over there, but it's this is it. This is the last trophy we can win this season, so we have to give it everything. But I do think it'll be a hard task. Again, I'm unsure why the players have went missing in this screenshot, but
Aye.
it was already uploaded anyway. I think Suter coming back into the lineup is big. Balogun came on at the weekend. He'll start. We cannot start Robin proper in this game whatsoever. I think Yefte has been caught sleeping too many times, and I think he has to be taken out of the team as well. I would play Yilmaz. Looking at the rest of the team now, I kind of maybe would prefer playing Connor, Barron, Raskin, and Diomande, and maybe swap out Hadji, get a tighter midfield, and we've got obviously good players up the top end of the pitch as well. And just on Hamza Egaman as well, when I was picking this team, Danilo back in the squad. When did Hamza Egaman's form fall off? It was when Danilo got injured. The two of them have a really good relationship with each other. We've seen that. We probably played our best football at that time with the two of them involved in the same team together. So for me, Danilo and Egeman, I would like to see starting this game. Dessers is generally quite good off the bench. In Europe, we've seen his goal against Man United, of course, when he came off the bench that night. But for me, I think you need to take a bit of a different approach in Europe. You need to have players that have that extra bit of quality, and I don't think Dessers will get too much of a look in for the get go. Against Fenerbahce, I think he'll be chasing shadows. I think having a couple of players up there with a bit more about them
Mm-hmm.
would work for me. But what's your thoughts going into this one?
I'm just looking at the Fenerbahce's team. They're like some experienced heads there, aren't they?
Aye, off the
Marching
top
now.
of my head, like Fred, Skriniar,
What's his name? That
Enyesiri
Tadic.
as well. Tadic, of
Uh,
course. Aye,
that boy up the top, that Moroccan boy as well.
aye,
He's decent.
Enyesiri played with
Dzeko.
Sevilla, didn't he?
Dzeko. I mean, look at their defenders as well. You know what I mean? Some proper big names there. I know it's going to be a difficult ask. I sort of agree with what you said there with the team. For me, Big King's just can't believe I'm saying it, getting Shooter back. And also having Balogun in there with him, just have some decent defenders just to keep us decent for a bit, as you say, proper can I play, if proper plays, dearie me, we're done. I've no real hope for it really, as I say, just go out there and give it you've got. If that's the team, that's the team. As I say, I'd expect if Giannis Haji's playing, I'd expect him to turn up a wee bit here, do you know what I mean? Obviously, he's dying all that big over there and what have you, so I'd expect that. But listen, don't rule out Tessers to come on, mate. I'm sorry, don't rule him out to come on and get a goal again.
No, that's the thing for me. I think he'll be better use off the bench here. I wouldn't again rule him
Um,
out to come on and do a
no,
job. I
can
think
agree with
maybe
that.
as their defenders tired, maybe as they kind of push up the pitch to force more pressure onto us, depending on what the score is at that point. I think Dessers is a lot better off the bench in Europe than he is starting games. And we'll see what Barry Ferguson goes with. Of course, it's a big night for him. First time managing Rangers in Europe. It's a tough ask going head to head with Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce, who don't really lose games as well. Probably one of the favourites for the competition, in all honesty. So, it'll be a tough ask, but these Rangers players seem to know what Thursday nights do to them. So, who knows? We might get another one of those results, but that will be a tough ask considering where the form is at the moment. And aye, of course, we've got a weekend off after this Fenerbahce game, cup weekend in it. So it's
Alright,
Fenerbahce
cup
back to back.
weekend.
It's more time for Ferguson and his team to work on stuff with these players going into, as we say, the biggest two games left of this season. So we'll see how it unfolds. We'll have a podcast obviously next week discussing that. We're on TikTok as well, as I meant to add, that we're doing more kind of instant content. Of course, we round up everyone on the Sunday or the
Mhm.
Monday, but more instant content on the TikTok if you want to follow us over there
Alright.
at the same name. So.
Get on the wee TikTok. Obviously, I'm a box office act, so I'm only on the pod. But obviously, your man here carries that, like he carries everything. No, as I say, get following, get behind lads, and ladies, and ladies. But aye, massive games coming up. And obviously cup weekend. Obviously, we'll just be sitting, chilling,
A
Margaritaville, and
weekend to drink pints and enjoy yourself.
before we come back, and obviously it's a massive Old Firm game as well. So
Nah, the next three games, when you look at it that
massive,
way.
massive. Listen, that we'll talk about it obviously when it's here, but the players better be ready, man. Honestly, I swear to you. But nah, we'll see what happens. Obviously, as you say, they only know how to turn up on Thursdays, so aye, we'll see then.
Yeah, we'll see then. And that's it for the podcast this week. As I said, we'll have more news stuff on TikTok. The link will be in the YouTube description if you want to check us out there. So we'll see you next week on YouTube.